The happiness of your life depends upon the quality of your thoughts. This isn't a modern self-help catchphrase. It's a nugget of wisdom from the Roman Emperor Marcus Aurelius, a practitioner of Stoicism. How could his thoughts, penned nearly 2 millennia ago, still resonate so deeply with us today? Marcus Aurelius is a name that stands out not just in the annals of history, but in the realm of philosophy. Born into Roman aristocracy, Marcus could easily have settled into the lap of luxury, content with the trappings of royalty and power. Instead, he embarked on a journey of introspection, reflection, and discovery. However, before delving into the profound wisdom encapsulated within those pages, it's essential to first understand the man behind them. Marcus Aurelius, the last of the so-called 5 good emperors, ruled the Roman Empire from AD 161 to 180. The backdrop of his reign was marked by military conflicts, plague, and internal issues. Amidst this tumult, one might wonder, how did a ruler find time for philosophical musings? But that's precisely what makes Marcus so exceptional. He saw philosophy not as a subject to be studied, but as a way of life to be lived. Stoicism isn't just a school of thought, it's a way of life. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor, wrote down his reflections, which later formed the book Meditations. Within these pages, he recorded powerful insights that remain profoundly relevant in today's chaotic world. Let's delve into 10 of these quotes, dissecting their depth and applicability to our lives. Number 1. Very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself, in your way of thinking. Marcus Aurelius. Think about a child playing with a simple cardboard box, turning it into a castle, spaceship, or hideaway. Their happiness isn't rooted in the material value of the box, but in their perception and imagination. As adults, we often lose sight of this intrinsic ability to find joy in the simple and mundane. In our modern age, we're frequently bombarded with messages that equate happiness with possession and status. The latest phone, a bigger house, a flashier car, or a promotion at work. Society pushes us to believe that these are the benchmarks of a fulfilled life. This constant chase can leave us feeling empty, always craving the next best thing, and never truly content with what we have. It's like being on a treadmill that keeps accelerating. No matter how fast we run, satisfaction always seems just out of reach. Marcus Aurelius, in his wisdom, reminds us that happiness isn't about having, it's about being. It's not the external trophies we gather, but the internal peace we cultivate. The Stoics believed that our thoughts shape our reality. If we continually focus on what we lack, we'll always find ourselves in a state of wanting. But if we shift our mindset, concentrating on our blessings and taking joy in the present moment, we can find contentment. Number 2, it is not events that disturb people, it's their judgments concerning them. Marcus Aurelius. Have you ever noticed how the same event can be experienced differently by 2 individuals? Take rain, for instance. A farmer may see it as a blessing, nourishing his crops, while a bride might perceive it as a curse on her outdoor wedding. The rain is the same, but the reactions differ vastly. This observation leads us to a transformative realization. It's not about what happens to us, but how we interpret it. As humans, we have an innate tendency to react impulsively to situations. When traffic delays us, we're quick to curse the universe for being against us. When someone criticizes us, we might instantly feel attacked or demeaned. We become victims of our circumstances, feeling tossed about by the waves of fate, with emotions anchored to external events. Marcus Aurelius prompts us to delve deeper, to recognize that events, in their raw form, are neutral. It's our judgment, our internal narrative, that gives them meaning and, subsequently, power over use. The Stoics emphasize that while we can't always control the events in our lives, we possess the incredible power to control our reactions to them. Number 3, our life is what our thoughts make it, where Marcus Aurelius. The power of thought is both our greatest gift and our heaviest burden. Just as a sculptor shapes clay into art, our thoughts mold our realities. Marcus Aurelius emphasizes this truth, highlighting the potent influence our mind wields over our existence. Negativity can often seem like a sticky web, ensnaring us in its grasp. One gloomy thought begets another, leading us down a rabbit hole of pessimism. We doubt ourselves, ruminate on past mistakes, and fear the future. These cycles not only shroud our perception but also impact our actions, relationships, and overall well-being. The Stoics firmly believed in the supremacy of reason over emotion. While feelings are fleeting and reactive, reason is stable and constructive. Marcus Aurelius's assertion underscores this principle. He invites us to recognize that our experiences are not just shaped by external events, but more profoundly by our internal dialogues. Number 4. If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it. And this you have the power to revoke at any moment. Marcus Aurelius. Marcus Aurelius, in his timeless wisdom, presents a liberating perspective. It's a reminder that, in many cases, we're not bound by chains of circumstance, but by those of our own making. The key lies not in changing the world around us, but in understanding and adjusting our perception of it. Have you ever felt trapped by situations or circumstances? A job you don't enjoy, criticism from others, or perhaps the weight of societal expectations? It's easy to feel overwhelmed and powerless, thinking that external factors govern our happiness and peace. The Stoics introduced a revolutionary idea: our internal world holds more power than the external one. Marcus Aurelius's statement is an embodiment of this philosophy. Events, people, or situations don't inherently possess the power to harm us. Instead, it's the lens through which we view them, our judgments and interpretations, that evoke distress. Number 5. The obstacle is the way. This profound statement from Marcus Aurelius encapsulates a core tenet of Stoicism. Instead of viewing challenges as dead ends or insurmountable walls, he suggests seeing them as pathways. It's a radical shift in perspective, viewing hurdles not as deterrents but as catalysts. In our journey through life, we encounter myriad challenges. Whether it's a career setback, a personal loss, or a failed venture, these obstacles often evoke feelings of despair, frustration, and hopelessness. We question our abilities, doubt our decisions, and sometimes feel tempted to abandon our pursuits. Marcus Aurelius, along with other Stoic philosophers, perceived difficulties differently. To them, life's challenges weren't just inevitable, but invaluable. An obstacle in Stoic philosophy isn't merely something to overcome, but something to leverage. The obstacle isn't just in the way, it is the way. To transform challenges from hindrances to stepping stones, consider the following approaches. Number 6. Time is a sort of river of passing events, and strong is its current. Marcus Aurelius. How often do we find ourselves lost in nostalgia, yearning for days gone by? Or perhaps we're constantly chasing future dreams, postponing our happiness for a tomorrow that's always just out of reach. This temporal tug-of-war leaves us discontented, always out of sync with the present. The Stoics, with their profound understanding of nature's workings, recognize the futility of resisting the inexorable flow of time. Instead of futilely attempting to hold on to the past or anxiously trying to predict the future, they emphasize the value of the now. To them, the present was the only true reality, the only moment over which we wield any control. Number 7. Waste no more time arguing what a good man should be. Be one. Marcus Aurelius. Social media platforms are rife with discussions on what constitutes a good person, a meaningful life, or a noble act. While discourse is valuable, an overemphasis on talk without accompanying action leaves us in a paradoxical state, knowledgeable yet untransformed. The Stoics believed in the primacy of virtue and saw it as the highest good. But for them, virtue wasn't a mere intellectual exercise. It was a way of life. Marcus Aurelius, in his meditations, frequently emphasized the importance of translating philosophy into practice. He believed that the true measure of a person's character wasn't their words, but their deeds. Number 8. The best revenge is not to be like your enemy. Marcus Aurelius. It's a common narrative. Someone wrongs us, and our immediate reaction is to retaliate, to even the score. This reactionary impulse often comes from a place of wounded pride or ego. We feel that by giving back in kind, we reclaim lost honor or respect. Yet, in this process, we often fail to realize that by stooping to the level of our adversaries, we're not rising, but falling. The Stoic philosophy places significant emphasis on self-control, wisdom, and virtue. For Stoics, the external actions of others, even if directed against us, are beyond our control. What we can control, however, is our response. Aurelius, through this quote, is emphasizing the power and dignity in choosing the higher path, even when provoked. In navigating the intricate tapestry of life, the words of Marcus Aurelius serve as timeless beacons, illuminating the path of virtue, wisdom, and self-mastery. They remind us that amidst the external chaos, we possess the power to cultivate an internal sanctuary of peace. Stoicism isn't just a philosophy, it's a way of life, urging us to elevate our character, prioritize our actions over words, and meet adversity with resilience. As you move forward in life, let these Stoic principles guide your journey. Reflect, recalibrate, and remember, true empowerment lies in mastering oneself. Embrace the wisdom and let it transform not just your thoughts but your actions. The journey to virtue begins today. Will you embark?